Hello, once again, welcome to another great week ahead. For today is Monday, January 25th. How y'all doing? How was your weekend? I hope you had a good weekend. I had some sad news. As of recording this video, which is Sunday afternoon, I had some bad news yesterday, on Saturday, that there was some reports of some church members in my church that might have this virus. So they canceled in-person services today. They was telling everybody to go online, and some other people weren't feeling well and they were getting tested, but haven't heard the results of that yet. But I hope everything's going good with them, and wanted to let you know about it, and please pray for my church family. Some of the certain members I got some other church members friends that a father of this one church member has been going through some hectic battles the last few months, and he has an open wound that they can't close it for some reason, only they know, but battling with trying to get it to heal up enough so they could close it up. And he come down with some symptoms, and they reported it was. So he's battling that. So we got another person to think about in prayer. So all the ones around my friends and church family and all, just remember them in prayer. Just remember all the ones that battle in this mess. I wish I knew what they were going through, but I don't. I haven't had to do anything with it, which I hope I never have to. But I feel for them, because I know all the times I was definitely sick with pneumonia when I was younger, and then I had other sicknesses later on in life that I know what they're battling and stuff. But hey, I come out of it. Lord blessed me and brought me out of these sicknesses. And if you'll go on my Facebook page and look at my event, I have one that says I come through a sickness, and I was definitely sick on that one. That was the last battle that I've had, a tough battle, but Lord brought me through it, and here I am, still here today. But I hope I never have to go through what some of these other people are going through. And so friends on Facebook, through my NASCAR pages, one of them says her cousin a week or so ago got admitted to the hospital with symptoms and everything, and then lo and behold, she's not suffering anymore. And by that, not suffering anymore, is she's in heaven now. So remember that family. Remember all other families that are battling this, and we'll be okay. So sorry for the rambling, but I was just having to get that remembrance out for everybody. But today is Monday, January 25th, and it's video number 245, and we're going to be talking about teachers and soldiers. And we're going to be starting with 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 26, which says, And they that may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil, who are taken captive by him at his will. So we are in a great battle for the minds of young people today. Yeah, I could. Right now, it's hard to do that. The way some schools and stuff are. Excuse me. Just had to scoot back just a little bit. So the battlefield may be the classroom or the home or the church, or the family television, or any place where teaching, good or bad, takes place. And it's significant that one of the greatest verses on teaching and one of the greatest on soldiering occur together. It says, and the things thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. That therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. That is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verses 2 and 3. So that was prior to the verse we began with. So thus it seems clear that a faithful teacher is a good soldier in the battle of Jesus Christ against the devil for the minds of those we are trying to teach. So I guess that does coincide with what it's saying. You teach regular people, but you also teach people in the ways of the church and the ways of God and everything to battle against the devil. But you teach in the schools and stuff to battle against everyday life, which is all actuality the same in one way or another. So the battle is not that. The battle isn't to be fought with bullets, however, or ever with ballots, but with the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God, found in Ephesians 6:17. That phrase. So furthermore, our battlefield strategy is not to strike down our enemy with a sharpened tongue or to bludgeon him with a superior intellect. In Colossians 4:6 says, let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. Bringing up another Colossians again. And if you haven't watched my Study of Colossians series, go back and watch it. It's in its own playlist. So go to my channel, click on the channel, go down to my playlist, and go to the Study of Colossians 1 through, I think I put 1 through 30. Is how many actual lessons there were. But there's 33 videos because some of them I had to have 3 or 4 parts. One I had to have 3 parts. Another one I had 2 parts. So there's there's like 3 extra videos because of those 2 that I had. They're all different videos, but the titles, they all coincided with each other. But if you look at them, one said something about the family stuff, and one talked about the wives and mothers. The other one are wives or women, or they were talking about the women part of the family. And then they talked about the man's part of the family, husbands and fathers in the second one. And the third one you talk about the children. And then in the other one had principles for business and principles for something else. But both of those, they had the same title, but it was a different word in the title. So that's the way I put them. But if you haven't watched the Study of Colossians, go back and do so at a later time. It's there for you to watch. You should be able to learn what the book of Colossians is all about. I had some other people comment about it. They saw one of my videos, and they thought it was, and this was a big celebrity name too. Try Ice Cube. He said, never heard the Study of Colosseums before. He thought it was something about a Colosseum. It's not Colosseum. It's Colossians. I guess he misunderstood the way it was put. But it's the book of Colossians. The study of the book of Colossians. What more can't you get out of that? I couldn't believe he's a smart man. I know that. I love watching his movies. Some of his movies are good. And he had that. I know it's a bad word in some people's eyes, but that what was it? Boys in the Hood. No, it was Friday, I think. It was one of those movies that had a scene where him and Chris Tucker was sitting in chairs in front of one of their houses, and they're sitting there, and a girl walks by, and they both they say the D word, and like, wow! I love that way they're doing it, even though it may be a bad word to some people, but hey, it's a word that's in the Bible. And the D word I'm talking about is D-A-M-N. Damn. I said it. But it's in the Bible. So it's basically a clean word. But they were saying that word. It's like, man. But they said the D word like that. So excuse my phrase, but it went, damn. I'm sorry I've had to say that, but if that's a bad word, then for Facebook, but I was just explaining the way it is. But the word's in the Bible, so it's feasible to say, to explain it. That's all I'm doing, explaining. I'm not cussing. I'm not cussing, as some people may put it. The word's in the Bible. To be damned. And other way they use it. So let's get off that rambling. So it says, our text for the verse we started with for today, it gives us a reason to continue, for it promises that those whose minds have been ensnared by the devil may be yet recovered. And the words just preceding the verse describes our tactic, verses 24 and 25 of 2 Timothy 2. Wait a minute. Sorry about that. That's somebody with some loud music. But the verse goes, the servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach, patient, in meekness, instructing those that oppose themselves. Sorry. If God peradventure will give them repentance to the acknowledging of the truth. And lastly, not even Satan can stand before the mighty sword of the Spirit, wielded by an apt soldier teacher. So basically it's saying all teachers are soldiers. So if you're a teacher out there, thank you. Thank you for all you do in your soldiering, in your position in life. Thank you for all you do. And I have many teachers that I enjoyed growing up. I had one in middle school. In middle school, she was her name was Pat Wyatt. And then when I moved on to Georgia, I kept in touch with her, and she either lost a husband or got divorced, and then moved on and found somebody else, which I found out the last time I talked to her, or last time I heard from her, she had gotten divorced again. I think. I'm not sure. But she was one of my favorite teachers there. She was the only favorite teacher I really remember. But I haven't been in touch with her lately, but I need to find out where she's at so I could just say, hey, just thinking about you. And I had a teacher. I had a couple of teachers I had many teachers from high school that I enjoyed. I had a few that were my personal teachers, but others that I interacted with on a day-to-day basis. And one was Kay Graham. Another one was Mary Rose Revere. And then another one was Melissa. At the time she was a teacher, her name was Melissa Ware. But she got married not too long while back, and her name is now Melissa Rainey. And the guy she was dating. She dated him for 12, 13 years. But they finally decided to get married, and a year later before their first anniversary, they got a child, and that child's probably in high school by now. But that was like 2001. I think it's when the child was born. Yeah, that's 20 years. That child's grown up and graduated already. I bet you anything in the world. He's graduated already. All it takes is 13 years. Well, somewhat 13 solid years to go through school. Because you start out about 5 years old, and then you go to 18, so that's 13 years. But if you, it may take less. If you're smarter, you may proceed in grades. Like some people I've heard of that can jump through certain grades at a certain age and be done with school. And some others had to be held back a few years, which I don't look down on that. But I had another teacher before I got to Melissa. Before I got to her, I had another one. Richard Brantley is and then the last I heard, he was running a coffee shop in Atlanta, and the coffee company's still going, but I don't know whether I sent a message to them on their webpage, letting them know who I was and who I was trying to reach. I just want to just know what's going on. But that was just some of the teachers that I've involved with that I wanted to give a shout out to. Thank you for what you brought me through. And there's many other teachers from the high school days that I could name, but there's too many to name. And it's not a teacher, he was more of a principal. But his name was Tryon Reynolds. Blah. He was the principal at the high school. Thank you for your friendship through all 4 years. I appreciate that. You were a great school principal when I was at school. And for all the teachers, staff members of East Lawrence High School in East Dublin, Georgia, thank you for all you've done. And if you're watching, thank you. Thank you for all you've done when I was there. You made me feel like I was home. I wish I was still around that school. And look for them to be building a new school. The high school's expanding, so they're having to build another school. I know that school is pretty old. Over 20 years old. Because when I got there in 95, started in 95, we were in an old building, which is now the middle school building. And then they was building the high school in front. By the time I moved to 10th grade, we moved it in the new building, and then they redone the old building, turned it into the middle school. So when I went to 11th grade, they were starting the middle school. And so that's, 95, 96, about 96. So here it is, over 20 years. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and now we're going into 21. That's 25 years old, that building is. Maybe 26. Who knows? But they're getting ready to build a new school, and it's going to be just a little further down the road from where the original school's at. So they say there's an area behind it. I guess it's going to be somewhat of a window in the building that you look out, you can see the football field. The football field will stay the same place. It's going to be a little weird doing that, but I'm wondering if they're going to redo that building and the middle school's going to expand or something. Or if they're still going to use that building. Well, they would have to. Middle school might move up and they might expand the school out some so they got more room. They might just use that as the new middle school and just expand the classes and everything out. But I'm sorry about rambling about this, but I'm just I'm just telling you about my experiences in school and stuff. But to all teachers out there watching, and if you are watching, especially on Facebook, to all your teachers, staff members, and everything at any school that I ever been in, thank you for your teaching service and all you do. And I hope you have a blessed week this week. And I'm hoping you're having a blessed 2021 so far. And if you're having to deal with this pandemic, then I feel for you and I pray for you. And you're in my thoughts and prayers to come through this. And with that said, let me give you a preview of tomorrow's video. I know I'm taking a little long, but tomorrow, for Tuesday, January 26th, video number 246, we're going to be talking about the elect of God. And starting out with Romans 8:33. Ooh, one of the verses from chapter 8. That great chapter that it's real neat. If you read the whole chapter 8 of Romans, there's a lot to learn from chapter 8. Because I know my pastor at Grace Bible, he done a study of Romans 8 one time. I think it was on Wednesday services. I think he went through the Romans 8, chapter 8. I know it's like you would do this part this week. Next week we'd go on to the next part and we'd just go by part through the whole book. And that was pretty interesting. If it was on Wednesday night, it may have been on a Sunday. May have been on the Sunday messages, but one or the other, he went through the chapter 8. And I thank you for that, Brother George, if you're watching. If you watch this, I'll have to tag you. I'll have to tag him in my post when I share it tomorrow. Or for today, I'll have to tag him in the post. So when I post it later this evening of recording it, I'll be sure to tag him tomorrow or today when I share it. So I don't know if you can hear that. It's a siren. Sorry about that. But that'll be what we have for tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the elect of God. And I appreciate you. I love you. Trust in God and stay safe. And with that said, peace out until tomorrow, everybody. Goodbye, and God bless.